Hi folks, welcome back and thanks for joining. So today, after last week I got on the recycling kick. I naturally went to paper. Paper is highly recycled. Paper, cardboard, highly recycled stuff. Unfortunately, it's only good for 2 or 3 times. However, it's still a very good thing to be recycling. About 99% of the energy used in creating paper pulp for paper making is saved by recycling it. And we're going to go through that. I'm going to explain to you why and how to make paper. And my chosen is I'm going to make some paper out of corn stalks. There's a lot of that around in my area right now. So I'm going to use what's handy, available, cheap, and absolutely free. And I'm going to do a bit more. I'm going to try to see how nice I can make paper. Something very nice like this, just to see if I can do it. To start out with, though, what we're going to need is something called a mold and decal, and that's a little hand device used in making paper. So I made this one, and I'm going to show you how to make this. And here's my first try at the corn paper. Didn't turn out too bad. As you can see, though, it could be a bit flatter. I didn't weight it down. So we're going to go through all the steps, and I'm going to explore making paper and recycling paper. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I want to make is corn paper. And to do that, I'm going to turn this into a corn pulp or a paper pulp. And that's what I'm going to use to make the paper with, and use the little mold and decal that we had before. Now, this is a very hard or difficult cellulose to break down, so I'm going to use something fairly strong. I'm going to use sodium hydroxide. If you are just recycling, or you're using a different type of material than this, you could use soda ash. So there's other alternatives out there. Now, because I'm using sodium hydroxide, this stuff is very caustic stuff, and I want to handle it very carefully. So I'm going to be using a half-face respirator, and I'm going to be using a full-face shield, as well as nitrile gloves. If I happen to get anything on my clothes, I'm going to throw those into the wash. All right. So now, what I'm going to do is chop this up, this corn stuff, into my handy food processor here, my my workhorse, and I'm going to process it like that with just enough water to give a good ribbon. And you'll know what I mean by that. I'll show you in the food processor. And I'm going to let that process for a good 15 minutes. I'm going to let that sit for 12 hours. And then I'm going to, that's going to be my bulk material for making the corn paper. All right, so let's get rolling. All right, so it's been a few days. It's been drying. I took it out of the frame and just laid it flat. And it seems like it's still just a little bit damp. It's taken a long time to dry, but I think we can see here that well, we have paper. Pretty stiff. This would be like cardboard quality, and it took a lot to get us to this point here where we made the mold and the decal, and then we had to break down the corn fiber, the cellulose, and do our best to break the lignin bonds that are holding the cellulose together. And it could take even more to refine this more. However, if we want to do it just really something cool, well, let's just recycle some paper. Let's have some fun doing it too while we're at it. So what I did, instead of making the mold and decal, I just went and I got a picture frame and cut a piece of screen and glued that down to it. Used some waterproof glue, and we have that. And now this is an old tablet. It's got some tattered edges from laying around, so I think this is worth recycling because really, got to use something. But the cool thing about it is to recycle paper, we don't need to go through all that. All we need to do is add water to it, and I'm going to use the juicer again. It's much faster, and I'm going to make some paper like that. And I'm going to improve the process just a little bit in the drying technique, and I'm going to try to make some really nice, high quality paper. So let's get started with that. Alright, so let's see where we're at. My first attempt didn't turn out so great, but I got better, and I got it to this point here. However, it's pretty rough. So I thought, and you saw that in the fast forward, where I used linen on both sides, and then put a heavy weight on top and let it dry like that, and that improved it quite a bit. So at this point, we have a very rough craft paper type product here. Certainly usable, and it's paper. At this point, though, let's keep going, but let's do something really cool. When I was a kid, writing letters was a thing, really big thing. It's how folks stayed in touch long distance before the internet. And what a delight to get special paper, and everybody had their own type of bond, we called it. So we're going to get into that. We're going to make some bond. And I think it's apropos at this time in history to reestablish what we had back then, which was a way of sending a personal touch. So what we're going to do, of course, we can add colors or patterns, use different colors, things like that. We can add some sparkle to it. And something really special and quite easy to do, and that is to let's add some scent. Scented bond was a very special type of letter to send to someone that you wanted. All right, so yep, we're going to do all of that. Oh, I got my corn paper wet and swooshed it down, and it's going to dry much flatter. So, and it's something, but we're going to move on and make some really cool paper. Let's get going. Lemon is always nice. Lavender is popular. Clove, cinnamon, and I'm going to pick my favorite. Well, these turned out nice. A note on the this was pigment, and I had intended on using mica. So I have another piece here that's turned out nice though. Once you peel this off, nice. Trim that up if you like. Flatten it down a little more. Now for this one, let's do another solid color on it, and while it's wet, I'll try the mica and see if that does a little bit better job. The pigment spread out a bit here. Smeared. Although the blue was rather nice. It's that turned out kind of nice. But the brown was just a mess. So I'm just going to use what's left in here, and I'm going to pick a color. How about green with the gold? It's going to take a while for the water to soak through to leave the green tinted cellulose behind, so I'm just going to let that sit for a while, and we'll be back. Alright, so there we have something along here. Here's the one with the gold sparkles, the mica, and that turned out very nice, very shiny, if you saw that in the pictures. So this was a lot of fun, and I'm thinking this would be something you could make, make your own mark. If you're an artist, well, this could be a business card. I had a lot of fun. I want to play around with this a little bit more, but you folks go right ahead, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.